So if you're a member here in the Patreon group, that'll get you entered into the giveaways where we will put everybody's name on a wheel, spin that sucker live on the show, and give it away. Probably in another week we'll do one of those giveaways. But appreciate everybody joining in there. You get access
to
everything.
The one just the Patreon, right?
Just the Patreon. That's right. We're done doing the giveaways for the YouTube memberships because we want everybody to kind of trickle into Patreon. It's basically the same as a membership in terms of the cost, but you get a lot more value in Patreon, and it's just a little bit easier for us to kind of organize everything as well. So you get access to all the chats in there. During draft season, we give you access to our draft board in real time. Emilio is updating it pretty much every day. Get all these write-ups, all the chalk talks. Like when we do the Baron Sorrell chalk talk, which will probably be tomorrow, I would imagine, we'll immediately take that clip, edit it out from the show, upload it onto his page on our Patreon group, and you got that right there at your disposal. So everything.
Yeah. Just a perfect little history thing too, man. I can't wait to dive in. We're in the middle of the season. It's like, what were we talking about for Brinson back there? Let's see what he looks like.
Bingo. That's the big thing with it too. We're gonna do some history segments here real soon as well.
Nice, like we used to.
We'll do like a deep dive on Curly Lambeau, George Calhoun, the kind of the founders of the Packers. Maybe take you back through some historical moments in Packers history. We'll have write-ups on that stuff as well. So it'll be a lot of fun. But again, this is just going to be your PTA hub, right? This is where you go to get all your information on the Packers for 2025 from our perspective here at Packers Total Access. So here we go. Green Bay Packers draft spotlight. Warren Brinson, a stout defensive lineman with run, stop, and prowess. Green Bay Packers reinforced their defensive line in the 2025 NFL draft, selecting Georgia defensive lineman Warren Brinson with the 198th overall pick in the 6th round. Following earlier picks to bolster Jeff Hafley's 4-3 scheme, the Packers targeted Brinson to replace the run-stopping presence lost with T.J. Slayton's departure to free agency. At 6'5", 315 pounds, the Savannah, Georgia native offers a massive frame, relentless effort, and SEC-tested versatility, making him a potential steal as a rotational lineman with starter upside for Green Bay. Here he was in high school. Look how much bigger this guy is from everybody else. I always love seeing these pictures, dude.
It's like he was like, I already went to college and just came back for my senior year. Like,
right. So here's the scouting report coming out of high school. A Savannah, Georgia native, Warren Brinson was a 4-star recruit in the 2020 class, ranked as the 283rd overall prospect by the On3 industry rating with a grade of 90.30 at IMG Academy at Bradenton, Florida. I did double check that. So he was born in Savannah, if I remember correctly, and then he went to high school in Bradenton, Florida. All right, 6'4", 290-pound defensive tackle, dominated with power and agility. His senior tape showcased a devastating bull rush, quick hands, and the ability to clog run lanes, earning him All-American honors. Brinson drew offers from Alabama, Florida, Tennessee, and Oklahoma, but committed to Georgia, where he became a key contributor to 2 national championship defense. This guy got 2 natties under his belt, man.
He went to the right team.
Exactly. Here's the PFF grades. Starting in 2020, 44.5. Me no like you that, Jan. 2021, he jumps to a 67.7. 2022 jumps all the way to a 72.3. Peaked in 2023 with a 79.1. Fell back a touch in 2024, but still a solid grade with a 73.9. Obviously, run defense grades what sticks out of the 75.5 with a pass rush grade of 65.1. All right, college statistics. Brinson's 5-year career at Georgia featured consistent production in a stacked defensive line rotation. As a true freshman in 2020, he played in 7 games, recording 3 tackles. 21, he appeared in 12 games during Georgia's national title run, tallying 9 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, and 1 sack. His 2022 season included 15 games, 12 tackles, 3 for a loss, 1 sack, and 14 pressures. 23, despite missing 2 games due to injury, started at 4 of 13 games, posting 21 tackles, 3 for a loss, 2 sacks. And then his 2024 campaign was his best, starting 8 of the 12 games with 26 tackles, 6 for a loss, and 2 sacks, including 2.5 tackles for a loss and a sack in the SEC championship win over Texas. This is kind of like that Matthew Golden had his best game in the SEC championship. Although they lost, still it's pretty cool to see that. You still got
under the lights. That's big.
Career tackles ended up being 71 tackles, 14 for a loss, 6 sacks, 1 pass breakup, and 36 pressures across 59 games with 8 starts. So Warren Brinson's RAS score here, Emilio, 9.10. Measured in at 6'5", 315, 27 bench reps. That's pretty stout. Look at that explosion grade, man. Vertical jump of 31 inches with a broad of 907. Had a 40-yard dash of 509. So when you look at the RAS card, what sticks out to you is he's got that pedigree, that size that you're looking for a run-stopping defensive tackle, a one-tech to kind of help fill in for the departure of TJ Slayton. That explosion grade's great, man. Really is. So,
yeah,
what do you think about
explosive at that size, at 315, being able to be that explosive, while having physical strength at 27 reps? I mean, he almost hit Green there on the bench, and even his 40 time of a 5.08. That's fast. I mean, you're moving there. If he had gotten half a second there, 5.05, 5.02, something like that, he's probably over in the green. He's probably at, 9 something for the run there. He's hustling, man. I'm excited to really see him. We can break down the tape there. But Duke can move.
Yeah. Detailed scouting report entering the draft. We just kind of talked about the combine already, so we'll just kind of go through this. Brinson shines as a run defender with a 315-pound frame, leverage suiting him for nose tackle or three technique roles in Green Bay's 4-3 scheme. His versatility across alignments, nose, 4-eye tech, and defensive end. That's really impressive. Play some 4-eye and nose. It adds value. However, his pass rush arsenal is raw, relying on power over finesse. What does Greg Cosell say, though? You've got to be able to rush. Got to be able to rush with power in the NFL. If you don't, you can be all flashy with all the spin moves, and it's kind of like, I want to say it was as a Raku that they said, one scout said he's got too many pass rush moves. He needs to refine just 2 or 3. Like he's trying to do too much. And I think the knock on Ezaraku was he could not rush with power. So that's one of those things where it's like, that's kind of tough, right? Says analysts like Dane Brugler praises explosive moments when penetrating gaps, but he needs to refine hand usage to consistently beat NFL linemen. Lance Zierlein highlights his ability to get skinny and swim and rip into gaps, fitting one gapping defense. His Senior Bowl and combine performance is impressed with fluid movement and physicality for his size. Injury and character concerns. Brinson suffered an Achilles injury in Georgia's 2024 season opener, missing 2 games after 1 snap. He returned for the final 12 games, showing no lingering issues. A 2020 ankle sprain briefly limited practice, but no games. He was fully cleared at the combine, but no medical flags. Off the field, Brinson is a high-character leader, serving as a 2024 team captain and earning praise for mentoring teammates. His Savannah roots and perseverance staying with Georgia's demanding program, where only 5 of 14 in his class remained, fit Green Bay's gritty culture. So another dude has got that kind of, what do you call it, that loyalty, right?
Yes.
Kind of sticking with what you said you were going to do. I love it.
Absolutely.
All right, so obviously he was drafted number 198 overall. Brinson was a steal with Lance Zierlein assigning a 5th-round grade and Dane Brugler projecting a 6th. His slide likely stemmed from modest sack numbers and a deep defensive line class. Acme Packing Company lauded his potential as a TJ Slayton successor, emphasizing his nose tackle frame, while GM Brian Gutekunst praised his interior disruption and alignment versatility. Brinson's athletic comps to Daron Payne suggest 3-down potential with pass rush growth. As a 5th Georgia defender drafted by Gutekunst since 2021. That's wild. He reflects Green Bay's faith in the Bulldogs pipeline. Here's what our boy Dane Brugler had to say. A part-time starter at Georgia, Brinson played across the defensive line and head coach Kirby Smart's hybrid fronts, lining up at the 4-eye technique, sliding down to the nose in bear looks, and aligning everywhere in between. His defensive snap count increased each of his 5 seasons in Athens, and he put steady play on tape, despite a stat sheet that won't draw the eye. Brinson is fairly stout against the run and works to keep his arms locked out to find the ball and create stuffs. He has explosive moments when he is given the freedom to pursue the pocket. So that kind of shows you when he's in that one tech playing nose, maybe not so much rushing the quarterback. That's probably why the numbers weren't as inflated, right?
Which is what we ask our defense to do all the time. Punch out, read, react, and at least you're clogging up a lane or 2.
Definitely. Overall, Brinson flashes NFL-level play with his ability to get off blocks and force his way through gaps, but excitement over his talent needs to be tempered by his sporadic impact. He offers intriguing tools in an NFL ready body. Again, Dane Brugler had a 6th-round grade. Here are the strengths. Looks like an NFL player with his height, build, and length. Athletic for his size, including flexibility in his knees and ankles. Plays with battle-ready hands. Uses various swipe rip moves to clear a path to the pocket. Flashes a decent bull rush when he stays low into contact. Shows off body control on twists and games. We love to run those games up front. There's no doubt about that. Pays attention to gap responsibilities through lateral engagements. His ability to quickly redirect in pursuit helps him get hands on the ball carrier. Self-described, quote, biggest personality on Georgia's roster and hosts several podcasts. We got to check out that pod.
Yeah, what is it? Beyond the Hedges?
I believe it is. Yeah, Beyond the Hedges is what it's called. That's right. All right, here's his background. We'll hit this real quick since we got a couple minutes. I want to get everybody's take in the chat and get your take on him overall, Emilio. Warren Brinson, who has 2 younger sisters, Taylor and Caroline, was born and raised in Savannah, Georgia with his mother, Monique. He started organized sports at the age of 4. Jeez, Pete, 4 years old, organized sports, and often spent time at Harbersham YMCA throughout his childhood. Brinson gravitated towards football starting at the Pee Wee level and continued playing in youth leagues. Since leaving for college, he has returned to Savannah multiple times to help run free youth football camps, including his own defensive line clinic. Brinson is also a hunter, fisherman, and amateur pilot. Flew his first plane in July of 2024. You think he ain't going to fit in Green Bay with that outdoorsman, hunter, fisherman? Him and Quay Walker are going to be out there on a boat in the bay. I guarantee you.
Oh, yeah. They're to take the pond hopper with the pontoons on it, take the plane over there. As long as they don't get the finger in the propeller, Clay, we'll be in good shape.
Emilio, people don't know about the finger in the propeller comment.
Yeah,
and
right.
It's probably best that they don't. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. In 6th grade, he enrolled at Savannah Christian Preparatory School and spent 5 years there. After earning a spot on varsity as a freshman, he collected all-region honors with 41 tackles, 2.5 sacks as a sophomore defensive lineman, helping the team to a 6-5 record and a playoff appearance. After his sophomore season, football powerhouse IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida, reached out with interest. Brinson didn't take it seriously because of the cost of attending. In the summer of 2018, however, his mother applied for multiple scholarships and surprised him with the opportunity to attend IMG Academy for his final 2 high school years. So he could not afford to go to IMG, and his mom helped pull some strings and get him some scholarships so he could attend a higher end high school. Absolutely awesome. And so just much like Matthew Golden and these guys and Baron Sorrell, they got kind of a humble upbringing. Really cool. He was teammates with several future NFL draft picks, including safety DJ Turner, edge rusher Nolan Smith. As a junior in 2018, Brinson posted 27 tackles, 7 tackles for a loss, 2.5 sacks. As a senior, he helped the team to a 9-1 record with 30 tackles, 6.5 tackles for a loss, and 3 sacks. Brinson joined the track team in the spring of his sophomore year and had personal bests of 38 feet 10 inches in the shot put and 86 and 86 and 2 in the discus. Got it. A 4-star recruit, Brinson was the 30th ranked defensive tackle in the 2020 recruiting class with number 51 recruit in Florida. He had a strong performance at a summer Georgia camp in 2018. And within a few days of enrolling at IMG, received a scholarship offer from head coach Kirby Smart. Brinson officially committed to the Bulldogs toward the end of his junior season, but changed his mind a few months later and reopened his recruitment. He entertained offers from Bama, Auburn, Clemson, Florida, Miami, South Carolina, and others before recommitting to Georgia in July of 2019. Brinson was the 18th ranked recruit in Kirby Smart's 2020 class, which also included Jalen Carter, Broderick Jones, Tate Ratledge, Lab McConkey, and Carson Beck. He took advantage of the extra year of eligibility granted by the NCAA because of COVID pandemic and returned to Athens for his 5th season. Brinson accepted an invitation to the East-West Shrine Bowl. So just a little background on Warren Brinson. What do you think so far, Emilio, as we're getting ready to wrap up this article, man?
I mean, genuine guy. You know, he cares about the family, wants to be close to home. You know, happy that he got to play for Georgia, and the fact that, you know, hey, I knew a couple of people that went to IMG, for lacrosse and stuff, but it's that you're, prime talent. You got to go down there, especially for football. I mean, the fact that you show up, you play with those guys, and then you get a scholarship. It's like, all right, it's like the Senior Bowl for high schoolers. You get up there, you're playing at like almost JUCO level talent still in high school. And then you go ahead and get out there and you're already getting your name out there. It's like a pipeline and everything. I like that he's committed.
Yeah. Like what Greg Rice says here, 315 pounds with the ability to get skinny, swim, and rip. It's hard to get skinny when you're 315 pounds, right, Greg? Pretty impressive, though. Deployment possibilities. I just let the AI kind of say, hey, in terms of deployment with Jeff Hafley, what do you got here? It says Green Bay Packers will deploy Warren Brinson as a rotational defensive lineman, leveraging his run stopping ability and versatility in Jeff Hafley's 4-3 scheme with a path to a larger role. Here's how they might use him. As his primary role, rotational nose tackle / defensive tackle. Why it fits. Brinson's 6'5", 315-pound frame, 910 RAS, and run stuff and ability make him ideal for nose tackle or 3 technique duty. So think Kenny Clark, right?
Yep.
How do they utilize Kenny Clark as opposed to Devontae Wyatt? I think what you're hoping will happen here is Warren Brinson can step up to the plate and become that number 2 Kenny Clark, essentially. That's what it's kind of feeling like. So
and I think it's a possibility. I mean, he's got just as good a shot as Nazir does, though Brinson was drafted. I think that either of them have a real good shot. You look at Devontae Wyatt getting that 5th-year option, there's an opening coming up. Kenny at $31 million is not going to happen. So that they need to know if they perform, they can have a spot.
And as Joseph points out here in the chat, Wooden better be working his ass off if he wants any snaps. It's true. To me, Wooden's been the letdown. I think Carl Brooks has kind of held his own. And, Carl Brooks lined up in a one tech way more often than people realize as well. So right now it kind of feels like maybe he's the guy behind Kenny to play that one tech and that nose, at certain times. However, if Warren Brinson rises to the occasion, guess what? Now you can have Carl Brooks step in behind Devontae Wyatt as that backup 3 tech, right? That could happen. So really, really excited to see how that all kind of takes shape for sure. As Daryl says, man, Brinson has that O-line size. Man, he's a big old boy. There's no doubt about it. Probably got decent reach as well. Eldegrim, I think Nazir takes Wooden's roster spot. It could happen. Yeah. And with Wooden, what could happen with Wooden is you try to stash him on the practice squad, right? That could be the case. So, all right, Emilio, anything else? Secondary role, just a situational pass rusher there on the inside, 6 sacks, 36 pressures, and 31st ranked pass rush win rate among draft-eligible defensive tackles. Didn't realize that. If that number's correct, they're pulled by AI. That's impressive.
And the fact, think about it, we got them in, the 6th round? Their 5th round. The fact that we were able to pull, this kind of talent out of that. I mean, from Georgia, Goody's like, how are you telling me that, my favorite school dropped some of, their best players just sort of slipped through the cracks, and I was able to pick them up in the late rounds? It's like a late round tackle gem that Goody always finds. I'm hoping that we can get a couple late round, D-line gems.
Yeah. Yeah, so it says Brinson 6 sacks, 36 pressures, and 31st ranked pass rush win rate among draft-eligible defensive tackles per PFF indicate pass rush potential. His quickness and ability to get skinny in gaps per Zerline suit situational rushing. The Packers needing depth behind Clark will develop Brinson's hand usage and rush plan to maximize his pocket pushing ability, leveraging his experience at defensive end in Georgia's 3rd down packages. How he'll be used, obviously, we kind of covered all that.
Scary that Georgia put him outside on the edge, 3rd down. That's unbelievable.
It literally said here, we want you to play nose. All right, now you jump the 4-eye. If you guys are winning, that's the inside shoulder of the tackle, right? And then, you know what? Go to a 5 tech. Get out there on the outside.
It'll be all right. Don't worry about it.
Really, really valuable. Anything else on Brinson at all, Emilio?
No, man. Exciting. Seriously. I mean, the fact that we've been able to find these guys we're lucky.
Yeah. I agree with what Joseph says here, too. Brinson and Stackhouse is ridiculous value. It really is. Really, I love the way that draft shaped out. The one that had a scratch in her head was Belton, right?
Yep.
But again, if you guys watched our live draft party live from Green Bay, it took me just 10 seconds to go, Goody's got a 2nd-round grade on this cat. And then we find out later that he actually had a 2nd-round grade on Savion Williams. And they said that they thought about taking him at 54, where they went Anthony Belton because they probably noticed the run on tackles, and then came back in the third round. Savion's still sitting there. And Goody was talking about, I didn't plan on taking 2 receivers, but the value was just too good. So Savion was sitting there in the third round with a second round grade. That's wild to think about. So,
man, and I'm so happy we went into the Hall of Fame there, because being able to look at his old board and just get some ideas. Not that ours is ever going to look like that, but just like, your 6'2", 6'7", 6'8", your 7s, where are we at vertical wise, height wise, decimal, all the little nuggets that it had.
Yeah. And it was confirmed. I did look into the fine print and everything. That board we seen wasn't necessarily Goody's board. It was kind of using the media information of how Goody's board would have kind of shaken out.
Got it.
And the fact that they took, they had 3 of our draft picks with first round grades probably was pretty close to it.
Yep.
I was going to run this by you, Amelia. I think it'd be a good idea for next year's draft. What if we tried to come up with a conversion tool to where we take the grades on our board?
Okay.
And that will determine, we can give an NFL grade on it. Like you've seen how an 8.0 is a perfect prospect, right? And then it goes, 7.9, 7.8, 7.7. What it would take some time to do that, but man, that would be fun.
We could, because we had the final number. I think honestly it would be kind of picking our scale and then figuring out, all right, any negative prospect got to be a 7.5 and up probably. If you're negative 15, then all right, yeah, we'll give you an 8, and then we can kind of go from there. I think it's going to be fine tuning those numbers, but definitely a possibility.
Definitely. United Bates with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. For those who haven't seen and may be waiting to plan a trip, full schedule release Wednesday, May 14th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Airbnbs go quick sometimes. That's right. I'm excited about that because we'll be live when that schedule drops. Well, yep. I mean, we go live right when that thing releases, and there'll probably be some leaks throughout the day. So, I'm with you, Bates. It's going to be a lot of fun.
There's no close games, right? So I'm probably not going to any this year. I know you might be going up to Lambeau and stuff. There's no close ones for us, but I am extremely excited about it.
Who are the away teams? Do we know? Does anybody come to mind right off bat?
I want to say it was the hold on.
I got it right here. Let me see here. 2025 opponents. Let's see if it shows away, or here we go. I got it right here, Emilio. So the away games are Minnesota, Detroit, Chicago, of course, Dallas, New York, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Denver, and Arizona. You're right. There's nothing.
Be the Browns, if anything. And honestly, I'd rather go to like a Cowboys game just because my dad's a Cowboys fan. But then then we're going to Dallas. So
I wouldn't mind to go to Pittsburgh either. I think that'd be a fun venue.
You can take 2 trips up there in a year, going to the draft and the game.
I'm fighting like hell, man. I ain't gonna let Mandy talk me into that. I want to be right here at HQ this year.
No.
It's way easier to operate.
Maybe I can feel up there. We can do the draft up there again or something.
Yeah, that was a blast. We need to do that. Just gotta make sure you don't get your fingers stuck in the propeller. Thank you for the super chat, Bates. Appreciate you, buddy. Jerry says your chalk talk on Savion got me very excited to see him in the G&G. Amen. That was one of the easiest chalk talks to do.
Mm-hmm.
We were just like a couple fanboys in there going, man, look at this dude. He's phenomenal. And he lined up everywhere.
He was like Pablo Sanchez in backyard sports, right? You're always picking him because he can pitch, he can catch, he can throw the ball, he can shoot hoops. You put him anywhere on the field, he's going to play.
Yep. I'm really excited to see what Matt LaFleur can do with him. We got IROC in the house. He says, yo, I got my Oladapo card. Thanks again, fellas. Go Pack Go. Glad you got it. I'm getting texts all day of people saying, hey, I got my jersey. I got this. So it's really cool to be able to give back to those of you who are supporting the show. And the best way to support the show, it's Crank.
It is great.
65%.
65%.
It really hits.
Yeah. That might be worth the copyright if we get it.
Yeah, we might get hit with that. That's on me. But we slid in the 65. They didn't know. They have no idea. AI is never going to pull that.
There you go. So, again, the best way to support the show is our Patreon group. Scan the QR code in the upper right. It's a really, really cool community that's coming together. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm blown away at the support and how many people's joined. And that's what's kind of lit a fire under me to put more content out on there, because I want to make sure you guys, again, $3. That's our minimum tier. That gets you access to everything. You'll see a $5 and a $10 tier. That's just if someone wants to give extra, that's cool. And we got several people that are doing that. But just, again, I'm blown away at how many people are supporting the channel. And please don't think we take it lightly. We definitely don't take it for granted.
And the way I was thinking about it, Clay, one trip to Chick-fil-A, right, under $40, you're done. But on top of that, you pay for it now. You're getting all of this year's season. You're going to get all the draft prep for next year and the draft board. And if you hate it by next year, done. I mean, but you still get access to the draft board all the way through. I mean, this would be the time to do it, honestly.
Absolutely.
And it's like you're in the YouTube chat all the time. Like, you want to go talk to anyone in there, you go ahead and just message them. You can go to the general chat, any of that.
Yep, and you got a direct line to DM me in there as well.
Me as well. Tim is in there. I think Jacob finally figured it out on his flip phone. We're good.
On his Razor, his Motorola Razor. I want to give a shout out to the newest Patreon members. QU_21 went ahead and did the yearly, just paid it up for the year. You can do that and get a little bit of a discount. That's something that Patreon offers. That's really cool. If you just feel comfortable just doing it month to month, that's cool too. So Q21 went ahead and did the year. Randy in there in a $3 tier. We got Bill Brasky, who did the same thing, doing the entire year. Appreciate you, buddy. We got David Salento, who's a member of the 450, I believe it is, or the $5 tier, whatever it is. Just wanted to give a little extra. Thank you so much for that. Tyler McCarty went ahead and paid up for the year. You are the man. Holmes MD1 said, give me that $10 tier. I know I don't get anything extra, but he's just supporting the show. Appreciate you. Ryan Jennings on the four. I don't know if it's 450 or I think it's 450. $4.50 tier. Johnny B went ahead and got it for the year. And Darren Johns, a member of the $3 tier. So everybody, welcome them to the Patreon group. We appreciate all you guys and gals in there. So anything else you got, Emilio, before we get out of here, man?
No, I think that's it. Just another great day to be a Packers fan. I'm glad we got to dive into some of that and just being able to see them as they grow up, see how they act, see how they carry themselves. That's why you think about when Packers take their players, like, how are you going to – we know we've been talking about going through adversity, but how you carry yourself, head high, are you about football? Because we got time up here in Green Bay, and it's time for football season. And I think, honestly, getting drafted to a contending team like us, you kind of get excited, like, hey, I could make a name for myself in the most historic franchise there is. Yeah,
definitely. Jerry says, appreciate the show, guys. Thank you, Jerry. You're awesome. Everybody in the chat, y'all make this show what it is. Love talking ball with y'all every single day. And again, we'll go get that article fixed real quick with the correct draft classes. Look like it got a little wonky on some of the NFC North draft classes, so we'll get that straightened out. But really, really appreciate everybody except for Affam. All right, just joking, Affam. We appreciate you too, you knucklehead. But all right, that's it. We're out of here, guys. We'll see y'all tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central for PTA Live. We'll definitely do the Barons Sorrell Chalk Talk tomorrow. Nice. I'm going to try to throw another report together on one of the rookies here, which I guess after Warren Brinson, who would it be? We just talked about it earlier.
Warren Brinson, it would be Micah.
Would it be Micah? Okay.
I believe, right?
Micah Robinson. Whoever's next. You guys should see that pop up, maybe as early as the morning. Yeah, and that's going to be a fun one, man. Graded out really, really nice at Tulane. So
maybe we'll find some Fordham film. Some Fordham film on him. I don't know.
Well, maybe. All right, everybody.